So welcome to the final episode of part 1 of our financial literacy series. This is episode 10, and in episode 10, we're going to talk about personal financial blueprint. The theme of this episode is financial clarity creates direction. And if there's one statement that we'd like you to take away, it's intentional structure leads to long-term freedom. Over the last 9 episodes, we've built this step-by-step. Earning, spending, saving, debt, protection, behavior, compounding. Today we zoom out because financial literacy isn't just a collection of ideas, it's a system, and we're organizing this into 3 parts. First, how all the pieces fit together. Second, how to build a simple personal financial blueprint. And third, how to develop an ownership mindset. 3 parts.
Because information doesn't change your life, structure does.
You can watch 40 videos on personal finance, read the most recommended books on investing, and still order takeout 5 nights a week. The modern paradox of money is that we consume endless streams of financial information, yet continue to make swipe after swipe with zero structural change. This happens because the default human setting is the consumer mindset. It is entirely reactive. Income arrives, bills appear, you spend first, and at month's end, you simply cross your fingers and hope the math balances out. Relying on disconnected financial tips often creates a false sense of progress. Without a unifying strategy, these isolated tactics usually fail to address the underlying leaks in a financial life. Earning a high salary means very little if you lack the structure to control your spending. Saving aggressively stalls out if you ignore the mechanics of investing. And building a massive portfolio means nothing if a lack of insurance leaves you exposed to catastrophic risk. Information alone cannot rewrite your habits. Only an interlocking system can. Personal finance operates as a single, interconnected equation, where shifting one variable, like your debt level, immediately alters your capacity for everything else. To escape the cycle of reactive guessing, you need a specific architecture. We organize this into a simple 6-step blueprint designed to build stability from the ground up. Escaping the financial lottery requires a complete mental pivot. You have to transition from reacting to your money to intentionally directing it.
So, how do you build your own financial plan? It's not complicated. We want to simplify it. Step 1, earn intentionally. Then remember, you got to develop those skills. Increase value.
Step 2, spend with structure. Give every dollar a job. Know your fixed and variable expenses.
Step 3, build margin. An emergency fund protects your stability.
And step 4, eliminate high interest debt. Don't let compounding work against you.
Step 5, invest consistently for the long term. Let compounding work for you.
And step 6, protect what you build. Insurance, diversification, and digital awareness.
A blueprint doesn't predict every storm, but it does prepare you to handle them. It's less like a crystal ball and more like a seatbelt.
Now here's the shift. The difference between reacting to money and directing it, that's ownership.
A consumer mindset spends first and hope things work out. An owner allocates first and plans intentionally.
So ownership doesn't mean you own a company. It means you own your direction. It means you check your bank account on purpose, not just when you're nervous. You understand the system and you operate within it deliberately.
Did you know that historically, investors who consistently contribute over decades often outperform those who try to time the market? Not because they're smarter, but again, consistent. Ownership is consistency. So let's check in on our friends again. Alex, he now tracks spending and he's investing early. Sabrina is growing her earning power and allocates strategically. David and Sarah, they're protecting and rebalancing their investments and opportunities. Mr. Thompson has benefited from decades of patience and is enjoying his retirement. These are all different seasons that our friends are in, but they have the same principles.
Financial literacy isn't about getting rich quickly. If it were, it would be called financial lottery. It's about building wisely over time.
So to recap, what did we cover today?
Well, today we covered how the pieces of personal finance fit together. We also touched on how to build a simple blueprint and how to think like an owner.
Financial maturity isn't about complexity, it's about clarity. Intentional structure leads to long-term freedom. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. So Andrew, when did your thinking shift from reacting to money to directing it?
That's a good question. I think when my wife and I started budgeting, and it was when we didn't have a lot of money specifically, and it's like, how do I make all of this money stretch? And then even realizing that, hey, budgeting is not just a bad word that's like, oh, we can't have any fun anymore. But actually, when you do budget and maybe even put a line item in for having fun or a date night or going out to eat, then when you actually do it, you realize, hey, we can do this because we planned for it. And having a plan gives you peace of mind. So I would say, for me, that was the big light bulb moment.
This structural blueprint adapts to different seasons of life, starting at the very beginning of adulthood. Take our baseline stage, represented by Alex. Step 1 of the blueprint is pure awareness. Before taking any complex actions, Alex strictly tracks his spending to map out exactly where every dollar currently flows. Sabrina represents the next phase, step 2. She focuses on increasing her earning power and deploying that new income through strategic, deliberate allocation. A consumer allows their increased income to automatically inflate their lifestyle. An owner controls their lifestyle by telling that new income exactly where to go. This flowchart illustrates exactly when financial ownership begins. It happens the moment a single stream of income is split into predefined mathematical buckets, giving every dollar a job before any money is actually spent. As life progresses into mid-stage adulthood, financial variables naturally multiply. Enter David and Sarah, who are managing mortgages, careers, and dependents. Here, steps 3 and 4 take priority. They build a structural margin with an emergency fund, and they systematically eliminate high-interest debt so that compounding stops working against them. Then comes step 6, protecting those built assets. They establish strict insurance coverage and diversify their investments across different sectors. Without this protection, an unbalanced portfolio is a systemic risk. A single sudden crisis can trigger panic, and when emotion overrides strategy, people abandon their plans and sell off assets at the worst possible time. This radar chart demonstrates that mid-stage financial strength comes from a perfectly balanced symmetry across saving, debt, and insurance, rather than achieving absolute perfection in one highly vulnerable, lopsided category. Finally, we reach the mature stage of the blueprint, represented by Mr. Thompson. He relies entirely on step 5, investing consistently, ignoring market panic, and letting time and compounding do the heavy lifting for him. This line graph compares two 30-year growth trajectories. It shows how smooth, consistent contributions mathematically outperform the jagged, lower returns of market timing. The outperformance isn't driven by superior intelligence, it's driven by strict adherence to the system over decades. At the highest level of execution, true financial ownership is synonymous with consistency. Pulling back, we see that Alex, Sabrina, David, and Sarah, and Mr. Thompson exist in entirely different seasons of life. Yet the exact same structural principles dictate all of their successes. The shift from reacting to directing happens through repeated implementation. Over time, the constant stress of the unknown is replaced by the clarity of a predefined plan. No blueprint can predict the timing of an economic recession or a sudden medical emergency. Instead, the structure acts as a safety restraint, engineered to absorb the impact of these shocks so the entire system doesn't collapse when they arrive. A system doesn't prevent crises, it dictates your capacity to weather them. Small, repeated actions and systemic rules will always matter more than massive, dramatic financial moves. The financial industry often promotes an illusion of complexity, but the ultimate goal of the blueprint is absolute clarity. Intentional structure is the singular, reliable path to long-term freedom.